Hello, guys, and welcome to the newest episode of the Just Another Castle podcast, also known as the My IGN Nintendo podcast. With me today, we are missing FLIA because I think he has schedules mixed up. Who knows what's going down there in Argentina. But here we've got Matt.
Unspecific message.
Mike.
What up?
And me, Eli. We are here today to talk about all the latest in Nintendo Land. So, I guess we will begin, as we always have, with what we've been playing. So, I have not really had much time to play, but since FLIA gave such a glowing, praise to the Pokemon Shuffle, I decided to download Pokemon Shuffle, and I am so pissed off that I couldn't just buy that game separately. So, just as a result of protest, I am making an effort not to spend any money in the game. So, all in all, I don't know, I'm about 100 levels in, and I'm playing kind of like whenever my heart's recharged, which is every half hour, so about, like, every 3 hours I'll pick it up and play through some levels. And I have not...
What do you mean by, not pay? I don't get it. The game makes you pay for stuff? I thought it was free, completely.
No, dude, Nintendo wouldn't do that. It's a free-to-play game, so...
It's like that the Battleship Steel game or whatever that was free technically, but it wasn't really free.
It's worse than that because the battle whatever game, oh my god, what's it?
Blue Steel, that's it, right?
Steel Diver.
That's it. I was close.
The Steel Diver game.
It's like an '80s rock band.
You bought that, and you got like a demo.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks, man.
So when you bought Steel Diver, you got like a demo, and then you could pay like $7, I think, to unlock the full game. Now in this game, here's how it works. You play the game, and every half hour you unlock a heart. This heart can be used to play levels. So you can only play 5 levels at a time, because you'll have 5 hearts, and that's like the max you can have. And so you get your 5 hearts, and then you have to wait until it recharges. Or you can pay $1 to get 5 hearts, so you'll be able to play 5 in a row for another $1. But you can also pay microtransactions for various other things. For example, when you get through a level, based off of how well you do, it gives you a percentage chance that you catch a Pokemon. So, for example, I'm playing and Pikachu shows up, and I do a pretty good round, so there's a 70% chance I catch Pikachu. So you throw the ball. Now, if I get him, then I just get him. Now, if I don't get him, then it'll say, "Do you want to purchase a Great Ball? A Great Ball is only $1." And then the Great Ball will increase your chances of catching him.
I don't want to hear it anymore.
And they said they wouldn't go down this road.
Yeah, and I'm not even done yet. Okay, so then, it'll give you a really hard level, and you're getting through, and you run out of moves, and it'll be like, for only $1, you'll get 5 more moves, right? And it makes me want to rip my hair out because stop, And so I made a personal point of mine that I'm going to beat this game without spending a single penny on it, just to show Nintendo,
You have to redo the levels though without paying. It's not one of those cheap, really cheap free-to-play games that are like, oh, you died, so you have to buy your lives.
No, well, yeah, that's the thing. So you can wait for your lives to recharge, or
once every day, or
as I said, one every half hour.
Oh, half hour. Okay.
So what?
Be a day. You'll drop it and be like,
but
I'll come back.
There's only a max of 5. So if I leave it on for the whole day, I'll come back and I'll still only have 5. So you got to come back every 2.5 hours. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna beat the game, and I will not spend any money on it. And I'm gonna show Nintendo that shit isn't gonna fly with me. And
but you're still gonna play it.
Yeah, free entertainment.
Is it fun?
Yeah,
so it's like Tetris, right?
That's the thing. No, it's
Ritual.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's like
Did you like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Green Machine on the Sega Genesis? Or none of you guys played that?
I didn't play it.
I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
Alright.
No, the game is a little bit like Pokemon Trozek, except you can't go you can only go one turn at a time, and there's no time limit. You get a certain amount of moves. So you make your move, and then you can just like strategize to where you want to move next to make it effective. And then you can catch different Pokemon, and if you use Pokemon that are super effective, it'll do more damage, etc., etc. So it's a little bit like Pokemon Trophy, and so yeah, the game is good. Like if it was $7-8, I would just pay to play it flat out without having to go through all the bull crap. But since that's not an option, I'll just beat it anyway. The other game I was playing through a little bit was Gunman Clive. Um, and so Gunman Clive is 2, the second one. It's this really cheap. It's like $3. This platforming game, really fun to play. I'd recommend buying it. It's got a really nice challenge.
He's an assist trophy in Smash, right? The yellow guy with the Western hat or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I know. What do you call it? Wasn't I don't know if this is in the news, but there's a game I was looking at. Did anyone play Mighty Gunvolt or no? Because I know it's on sale for like $2. Right
Yeah, I didn't play it, but I bought it because it was on sale.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. It doesn't come with that third game, right? The crossover of the 3 games. It only comes with the regular Mighty Gunvolt, or.
Well, it's now.
I was thinking I was thinking Gunstriker something.
Yeah, it's
something
Azure
Assault.
Striker.
I was thinking that came with that game, right?
It did for a while, but it doesn't anymore. Now it's a separate thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it did for like the first 4 months or something. It was out, and then not anymore. Yeah, so that's what else I've been playing. Oh, and then amongst this Facebook group I'm in, we started a trophy war.
Trophy.
So, like, I haven't turned on a PlayStation thing in like 2 months, and I turned on my Vita, went through and got all the new DLC packs for Sound Shapes.
DLC trophies, bro? No respect right now.
Yeah, well, I decided to get.
Respect that, but no.
I decided to get a good lead, so I opened up Sound Shapes, but everyone else is also doing it, so I don't feel and I only have like 3 DLC packs to beat, and everyone else probably has like 10, so I'm probably gonna be behind anyway. And then I beat Hotline Miami, which is a really fun game.
The second one or the first one?
The first one.
But the second one's not out yet.
The second one is out.
Okay.
But
no, I was gonna say was before you kept going on. See, I can't buy DLC because they think people buy it for the trophies, and I had to show them that no, like that's my goal.
There you go,
no,
Mike. Take a stand.
Gonna buy DLC for trophies,
dude. And the truth is, the DLC for Sound Shapes. The only reason to buy it is for trophies, because you literally spend 3 minutes on it and you get like 5 silver trophies. And since I've got all 3 platforms, I can. All I have to do is open up, the PS3 version, the PS4 version, and the trophies pop again.
Oh my god, you're the worst.
So for like $1, I get 15 silver trophies for free.
Oh my god, man! You know what's funny though? You know what? I'm gonna start buying all these crossplay games. I'm just like, you know what? Let me cross save loaded, done. All right, because I have like legit like 7 plats I could get like that. Oh man, you're a bad man, Eli. I like it though. I like respect though.
So I don't know. I'm like scrolling down the list on the PlayStationTrophies.org or whatever to look at the easiest ones. I'm thinking about replaying The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us just for the trophies. I've got serious. I've never been one for trophy hunting.
A really quick platinum, if you don't want to waste too much time. My fastest ever platinum technically is what the hell is the Zone of the Enders stuff? Because I mean the game is really short. I mean some of the trophies aren't the easiest, but I mean it's legit like in reality it's like a 5-hour game. The trophies is probably double that, but if you're looking for like 2 quick easy plats, and I'd say always the HD remakes have the easiest plats out of all of them.
Oh yeah.
Like, just like run through the game and then the occasional one long grindy one, but like about that, like Ratchet and Clank 1 through 3, I think Ratchet 1 was the hardest platinum because you had to get like 1,000,000 bolts, but there's like a glitch you could get them like in 2 seconds.
Oh, well, I'll continue doing some research. But I was also
Sly 4 is another. My fault. Yeah, Sly 4 gets a crossplay. You can get both trophies, and then you can continue where you were. So play on your PS3 and then continue straight up on your Vita.
That's a good idea. The other one I was thinking about is Jack doesn't seem too hard.
Jack and Daxter? Yeah. Jack 3 probably... I know Jack 3 has another... Like, it has a glitch like Ratchet and Clank where you can get, like, all this stuff. Jack 2 is probably the hardest plat of the 2, but Jack 1 is probably the easiest one.
Yeah. And I was considering doing the order just so I have a reason to play it. And then what I'll probably do is I'll get like a pre-owned version from GameStop and then just like speed through it and then just return it because I'm a terrible person. Because that seems like a good way to not waste money on the order. Let's see. So I think that's pretty much summarizes everything I've been up to. Matt, what have you been playing?
Not a whole lot, but last week I was playing Pac-Man Championship Edition and the Galaga whatever Championship Edition. They're pretty cool.
I was gonna say, how is it?
They're pretty cool. I like Pac-Man a lot more than the Galaga one though, because I thought Galaga was like a vertical scrolling shooter, like a shoot 'em up, but you just kind of sit there in one spot. Oh, okay. But in this remake or whatever you want to call it for Galaga, you just kind of sit there and the enemies just like show up, which is, I don't know, it's pretty boring. And the Space Invaders Extreme series on the DS is like a lot better if you're gonna go for that. So yeah, I don't really care too much for the Galaga one, but only got them for like $1 each, so it doesn't matter. But Pac-Man is really cool. It's basically just Pac-Man on steroids.
Okay. Yeah. I remember it really got
more ghosts and more pellets.
I remember it got really good reviews when it first came out. Did you? So is it
the
like
Championship DX one, right? My older brother loves that.
Yeah.
It's probably the best version of Pac-Man. Like he's
awesome.
he's always liked Pac-Man, but he says that DX version's sick.
Yeah, because every time you clear the screen of pellets, like Pac-Man and the ghosts move faster, and it just gets faster and faster. And rather than just running into a ghost and you're dead, they'll give you like they'll slow things down a little, so you can have like a reaction time. So you have a couple of seconds if you want to like change directions, so you can keep going, or kind of place a bomb and like kill them, because you get a bomb if you get so many pellets or something. But yeah, Pac-Man one's really cool. Galaga one's kind of but I don't know. I wouldn't pay $10 for each of them. They're just kind of like pick up and play kind of games.
So I do have a question for you. Is it like where you go one round and then you try to get a high score and then you restart and go again, or is there like an actual progression?
No, there's progression. The levels get like ridiculously harder, and like you can tell you can tell from the fruit bonuses basically.
No, but I mean, like, are there levels, or are there like, or is it like
they have different like maps? But I think I unlocked all of the maps, and then I didn't really see anything else unlocked. So I think you just rebeat it or do time trials or things like that.
All right.
Score.
That was the only thing I was curious about.
Yeah.
Is that it?
If it's cheap, yeah. If it's cheap, get it. If not, I wouldn't spend $10 on it unless you really care about scores.
I think it was free for PlayStation Plus at one point.
Yeah, I don't remember when, but I think you're right. One thing that reminds me though, there's a Tetris version of that too. I saw it being played at Comic-Con. It gets mad hard, but it was really cool. I think some guy did it for the charity speedruns live or whatever. He beat all of Tetris. Like it was insane. Like literally, if you have like time, watch it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like the guy's legit genius, man.
All right. Well,
or idiot savant. It could be his only skill. We don't know.
Do you know what version of Tetris it's called? Because there's like 5 bajillion versions of Tetris.
I don't know. I know. All I know it was for the PS4, PS3, so it's probably the most recent one. You know?
Oh, isn't it like Tetris Attack or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But the speedrun of it was insane. It was fantastic. And after you beat the game and all the credits and stuff, like they do an invisible run of all Tetris, and he still gets it. Like he still gets it. It's the great dude. It's insane. Like oh my god. Like I wish I was that good at Tetris. Like I can't even get past like level 3. Okay.
Eli, did you say Tetris Attack?
Oh no, it's not Tetris Attack. It's not.
No, because I was gonna say it's like that's a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking. It's that's just the first thing that came to mind. It's actually Tetris Ultimate, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. What about you, Mike? What have you been up to?
Well, I finally beat that stupid Persona Q. Alright, and I'm not gonna freaking replay the Persona 3 side for like 5 different lines. Okay, throughout the game. So after 60 hours, finally beat that shit. 61 hours and 4 minutes to be exact. So, let's see. I beat that, and now I'm probably just gonna run through Ocarina of Time 3D because that's what I got for Christmas, and I technically didn't own it, so I'm just gonna run through the greatest game of all time again, like make it quick. And then I just beat Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix as well. So right now I'm just doing a lot of bonus stuff. Like today I was just streaming like just like all these like extra bosses, but Final Mix has like an insane amount of extra bosses and stuff. So like even if you're like level 70, you basically the game like forces you to get to level 99 and do the other stuff. So I've been wasting my time with that, and then the occasional Smash. So yeah, I won a tournament like Sunday, but it wasn't that much. It was like $50 for one, and then. Yeah, I think that's about it. I can't really remember anything else. Like, I haven't touched Hyrule Warriors because it's just so boring, and I don't want to go to sleep.
How about the fact that you got a Rosalina amiibo?
Oh, yeah. Some guy, he sent it to me. He painted Peach, blue, and I was like, bro, you can't trick me with this. But, you just reminded me. I installed Steam finally on my computer. I never did that, and I played the Titan Souls demo, which I know comes out tomorrow. So, like, I know there's a few games coming out tomorrow, but Titan Souls I'm actually like looking forward to because it's supposed to be mega hard, and like those are the things I like.
I like how Rosalina reminds you of Titan Souls.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Rosalina's like 7'5", so Titan Souls, okay. She's mad tall, so that's why. All right.
Yeah. So I think that'll kind of wrap up our what we've been playing segment for this week, and we can kind of move into news. I guess we should we have our like weekly amiibo talk that happens. If I can just pull up to where.
You don't have to.
God, what happened this time? I thought this was an amiibo free week.
So did you guys? Okay, so did you hear about the Esteban debacle?
Yeah, but I don't really understand it.
Oh my god.
I've heard of it, so.
Oh my god. So what happened was some guy on the Reddit amiibo went and was talking with Amazon to like a customer service representative, and he's just talking with him, and he's like, so I wanted to know when is Wave 4 pre-orders going to go up, and the guy's name that was talking to him, the customer service representative, his name was Esteban, and he writes, he tells him that they're coming up on a certain day at 3 p.m. Eastern, okay? And so, this guy goes batshit crazy, posts it on the Reddit, all of Reddit, the Amiibo subreddit has more than 20,000 subscribers on it, so people were flipping out, they're like ready for 3 p.m. on this one day, and so they're waiting, and I actually ended up going to class. I was afraid I'd miss pre-orders, and...
So you were one of those, you don't have to lie, bro.
No, I actually went to class. I was afraid I missed pre-orders, and so I'm in class, and I go on Reddit, Reddit 3 p.m., and I'm like, everyone's like, no! Right? Because the pre-orders were never posted. And so everyone's freaking out, like, what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then about 30 minutes later, the Amazon Twitter account tweets a picture of a chicken, and it says, "This is Esteban." It's like the ultimate troll. And so, in the end, there were no pre-orders.
Fantastic. Kudos to Amazon.
So Amazon was just screwing with everyone. And who knows, maybe someone screwed up on the customer service end, and Amazon just decided to run with it. And it was funny because it actually made it to the front page of Reddit that day, and it's just like a picture of this chicken. It's like, this is Esteban.
Oh gosh, that is great. You got all the scalpers and Eli.
Yeah, well, I was really sad. I'm actually happy that I've saved all these Rosalina amiibos. I still have like 3 left. Because when, Wave 4 comes out and I can't get a freaking Greninja or Jigglypuff or Lucina or Robin or anyone, I can actually trade for them. See,
oh, that's mad smart. Yeah, I did think about that. Good job. Nice work.
All right, so let's get to the actual news. First of all, rumor, is Dr. Mario amiibo compatible with Splatoon? Apparently not, as of Matt telling me that.
Dr. Mario. I knew Dr. Mario to be in Splatoon. I was like, you know what this game needs? Dr. Mario. All right.
Let's see. Oh, Mike, you might be happy about this one. Project X Zone 2 has been announced. It should be out before the end of the year.
It was actually it was leaked, right? And then Bandai officially announced it today or something like that.
Exactly.
Like some Portuguese site did, and then it's like, oh, okay, you know what? It's actually gone. But even though that's Project X Zone 2, remember Project X Zone is actually a sequel. Like so, the first one was Bandai. It was made for the PlayStation 2. So it was like, it came out in 05. I wonder if they're ever going to port that. I mean, it's really doubtful. I really thought like if they were going to make another one, they would just remake that one for 3DS. But it has Mega Man Legends characters in it, so Capcom was like, oh no.
Time to make Mega Man decade one time per decade appearance.
There's only like 2 or 3 different versions of Mega Man Capcom uses.
Yeah. So I mean, Project X Zone had X and Zero. That was the Mega Man versions they used. So maybe they go back to it. Maybe you get another. Maybe get Battle Network peoples. I don't know, but most likely it'll be the same. It looks like they only added like 6 new people.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I wonder if it'll be as long as the first game was. That's what I'm curious about. Because
the first game was like I enjoyed that it was that long. I didn't think it would be that long. Like the game had like a lot of twists. Or just the story continued. At one point, I did feel like it was dragging, but I thought the end result was like really cool, and the game was like unique. So I really enjoyed like the way it went down and everything.
Yeah, I bought it. I just haven't gone through yet, but I probably will at one point. Just because I probably should. Moving on. DNA confirms layoffs, but apparently they're completely unrelated to the Nintendo deal. Okay. Xenoblade. So this is an interesting piece of news. Xenoblade, you can go and download extra files so that the disc loads quicker. Apparently, I think I counted, there's like 10 gigabytes of something. Oh, they're probably like patches. Like 10 gigabytes of them so that the disc loads quicker.
Wow. That's a cool patch, though. Like, I wouldn't mind that. Like, people complain about patches all the time, but like a patch to make the game faster, that's cool by Nintendo.
It reminds me of why PS3 had made you install games, except that never felt like it did anything with those games.
Yeah, it would be like, look,
it's like some things will force you to install them, some of them we won't, and either way, it doesn't make any difference.
I don't know. I mainly saw them on like Naughty Dog games. It's like, oh, install it. It's like, okay, yeah. It's like
Metal Gear Solid 4. There's a lowering screen you gotta install. Like,
oh no, you have to install it, man. All the free cutscenes in that game, man.
Man, it's interesting that that Nintendo's decided to go this route. My guess is just it didn't fit on, because this is already ready ahead of time. My guess is just it didn't fit on the original disc.
Yeah, I think they said something about that too, how they were like really cramming it on the disc.
Well, the thing is, like, I mean, the visuals took a big hit anyway. They cram it on the disc, so it's like I can understand at the same time, but it's like, how did that happen? If like you clearly lowered some quality of the stuff to get this to work, but I mean, some people are enjoying the game for the first time. I ain't gonna complain. It's just some people are actually like everyone. I think what's carrying the game is the like reputation it got for being so good, on the Wii right now. Because like a few people I talk to, like they're like, "Yo, it looks really shitty on the 3DS," and I'm like, "It's not that bad," but like you can't trust 3DS gameplay videos to make the game look clean,
Yeah, I think also the new 3DS version is kind of helping to promote the Xenoblade Chronicles X as well. Just the fact that
they had it. There was in Japan Nintendo Direct on Saturday. All 37 minutes about Xenoblade Chronicles X. I can send you the link if you want. Actually, no, it's on my other computer. But yeah, it's basically just describing about the online function and all that. I think they announced like 32 people at the same time.
Yeah, they announced a lot of stuff. Like that game is going to have awesome online functionality, from what I understand. Probably the most modern game Nintendo will ever release.
I didn't write that down for news because I figured FLIA was here and he would fill us in.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I didn't think so either. Since he's not here, I had the tab open because I was going to watch that direct with some of the subs. And it's like, I just read what somebody wrote about it. But, I mean, there's probably more stuff there. I mean, obviously I don't get to see gameplay like that, but it's really cool. Like, I'm excited, but I really wonder the direction of the game. Like is there, like, still the story, or is it mainly about, like, a fake kind of MMO online is Nintendo aiming for? You know, I don't understand the goal.
Hmm. I think it's just them trying to prove the fact that they might know what they're doing. But once again, if there's no freaking voice chat, then it all falls apart. You know?
Well, how does this shooters I can see like work well with teams, and same with Monster Hunter. How does this work with multiplayer? Is it kind of like Monster Hunter where you're all attacking like creatures? Like, do you need to coordinate?
That's a FLIA question.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Because
Like,
I didn't really play I saw like a lot of people playing Monster Hunter Tri together on Wii U and 3DS, like, and I think they work together to get one single goal. But like, what if you have someone like, is it Diablo like? What if you have someone who's like level 80 and you're like level 20? You know, like you get the same pickups and get mad EXP like that, and or is it like, what is that game that was terrible and overhyped? The shooter game, Titanfall. Didn't they have the single player was connected with the online multiplayer or something like that? Like the story was connected. So is it something like that? Like, I mean, I'd rather bang out the story myself and then do like extra side quests with friends, you know?
yeah.
But we don't really know. Like, honestly,
I wish there was an
I don't
English
see the game coming
presentation.
out soon, but we need a direct all about it, like Japan got.
I think the unfortunate thing is because of the Zelda delay, I think that that's going to be like their big fall game now, aside from Star Fox. And so that's probably why they haven't really told us much about it yet, is they're trying to save the hype for when the game comes out, because the game comes out later this month in Japan.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, like, is Japan getting it earlier than us, or?
Yeah, quite a bit earlier, I guess.
I get it. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they got Xenoblade like 3 years before we even did, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, I wonder if
And then Europe, they got like Europe got like a year and a half
longer
later.
than they need to just to release it around Christmas. Because it's definitely going to take a couple of months to translate all of it.
Yeah. You know what I think is...
Some other game.
You know what I think might be interesting to think about? Do you think, is Xenoblade Chronicle X, does that game only exist because of Operation Rainfall? Like, is...
You know...
Because I think
that game could have been in the work, but I think the name is going to be derived now because of Xenoblade and like the reputation Xenoblade has, you know?
Because I think Xenoblade sold way more in the West than it did in even Japan. So I think it's kind of interesting. Maybe.
Well, I said it wasn't that good. Like, see, I'm clearly more Japanese than anyone on this podcast, and in America right now. But like, yeah, they could be. You know, that's a really good like theory. I gotta agree with you, man. I really think that's probably why. But at the same time, I think the naming might come from. Like the reason why I think this game could have been in the works, but they're calling it a Xenoblade game, kind of like that, you know?
Yeah.
Does it have any ties to the previous one?
No Xenoblade games have like real ties with, unless you're like talking about like a direct sequel to like Xenoblade Chronicles. It's doubtful. Like the only ones that ever had a continuation are like Xenosaga, but they're like, and those are barely like connectable.
Yeah, I heard it's way more like just a spiritual successor thing. I don't even know if it'll
like a distant future kind of thing. It could be a different Earth. Like it's like supposed to be like say like different universe, same kind of planet kind of thing.
Yeah. So Monster Hunter Stories was announced. It's this it's like Monster Hunter X Japanese role-playing game. Should be out I think next year. I don't remember 100%.
Is that the third straight Monster Hunter game in a row?
What do you mean third straight one?
Third consecutive year.
Yeah, probably.
That's really good though. I mean, it shows that the 3DS is a really huge force to be reckoned with. Because I mean, think of like how the PSP was in Japan.
Well, yeah, because there was 4 and then 4 Ultimate. Well, this would be another FLIA question. But,
yeah, this is a FLIA podcast.
One time this is where the hell is FLIA?
And then I think Monster Hunter Stories is like the new iteration. They said it's been in development for quite a long time, and that they've been wanting to make it RPG for a long time. I just don't know how that gameplay is necessarily going to work, because one of the whole things about Monster Hunter is you go back and face the same enemy a bunch of times and take it down, like the same, not necessarily the same way, but you have better gear and stuff. I don't see how it would necessarily work with an RPG if you could just grind and get stronger just by grinding instead of crafting new gear. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest, I don't really know.
I might like it more.
I can't really tell the difference between the two, so in Monster Hunter, like just the regular games, you don't have any stats.
Yeah, it's like
I think you do,
you're building.
but like
You don't level up. Like you're building
yeah,
new gear to make yourself stronger.
yeah, you don't have individual stats. Your stats are your gear. So how good your gear is and how well you do on mission requests and everything is the is how you get better. Like you start off like as the best you can be, but like there's like legendary weapons and all that. So that's what your goal is. But I mean, I see that's why I wasn't a big fan. Also, there's like no purpose to the game for me. Like that's why I wasn't like you just play like Freedom Freedom Force on freaking Vita. Like you just play the game. Like I hate games with no purpose. So maybe this other one will have like somewhat of something.
Freedom Wars actually has like a solid story line.
Yeah,
ish.
but it's like it's all about having online multiplayer friends. Like
Yeah.
man,
Too bad
you know?
Mike doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, right. Like it's the Vita, man. How am I gonna play with 3 people over the world, man?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and then we got the news. Fantasy Life 2 is apparently skipping 3DS because more adults play on mobile. I think that's BS. That is,
Yeah, well, Leighton might not even come to 3DS.
Fantasy Life isn't either. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Honestly, they're not going to make their money back. They're going to lose money.
I blame this from the DNA Nintendo thing. I legit blame straight up on that. Like I don't care. Like it should have been 3DS and then ported to iOS, like all of the Leighton games have been, or Fantasy Life. Like I get that you like you're trying to get to this mobile audience, but to to basically exclude how you were able to get a sequel. You know what I mean? Like the system that brought you to get a sequel, but. Like Fantasy Life is not a big hit, but as like a person who likes like Leighton and like hopefully this doesn't have the Phoenix Wright kind of thing, like that's what I'm really looking at as.
Yeah, I think it might.
Oh, go on.
I think what they might just end up doing is releasing both of them on like a single cart or something a year or two down the line once they realize that they failed for 3DS owners. Because if you think about it, like Puzzle and Dragons, for example, those are 2 games coming out on a single platform here in North America, or on a single cart here in North America. So it'd be interesting if they did a similar thing with Fantasy Life 2 and Leighton 7, and after they put it out on iOS, they're like, crap. And then they put them together for 3DS owners.
I can understand where they're coming from with putting games on mobile because apparently mobile is really big in Japan, and obviously there's more people in North America with smartphones than 3DSs. But so I understand them making some games go on mobile. I don't really get excluding the 3DS because I'm sure they would get a good chunk of money there too, obviously, because how can you have sequels if the first one didn't sell? But the thing is, I understand Leighton at least coming to mobile in some form, but Eli, you played Fantasy Life. Does that really make sense to have on mobile?
I mean,
it doesn't really look like it, but I didn't play it.
I mean, it does because the game is like a really oversimplified, the pretty much massively multiplayer online game, except you're playing alone. It's just, it seems like an MMORPG where you play alone and it's oversimplified, and that's why I didn't necessarily. I thought it was an okay game because it was just you going down and you're trying to like raise your woodcutter skill and you're just hacking at a tree, pressing A again and again and again and again. It's not even complicated at all. In fact, I remember on my review when I complained about the fact that pretty much all the jobs kind of seem the same because when I go fight a monster, I'm pretty much just pressing A to swing a sword at it, like again and again and again. Or if I'm going mining, I'm just pressing A again and again and again. You know what someone told me in the comments? They said it's different because when you mine, you've got to press the A button in certain types of, like, it'll be more powerful if you press it in a certain rhythm, as opposed to a monster where you can just bash it pressing A all the time. And I'm like, if I can play a game with just one button, I don't think it's a good game. I'm sorry. But that's why I think that it seems ideal for iOS is because, you just walk up to a tree, you click on the tree, you cut it down. Now go to, you cut it. Now go to the next thing where you mine, you just click on the minerals, you mined it, you're done. It's a lot. It seems like an iOS game. The problem I have is like that game is not for adults. Like adults get bored playing that game. In fact, you can go on Metacritic and read the reviews or look over the scores, and most people were saying the same thing I was, because those are.
Well, you know what I know? All these people who say they're adults are always like, yo, I ain't got time to play games like that. So they make an oversimplified, shitty iOS game.
I was just gonna say it's perfect for mobile because mobile games are so incredibly monotonous and repetitive, so it would fit right in.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. And then it seems like a game for kids, though. But I guess it could work, if a parent, or not a parent, but an adult is on the subway waiting for work and he's just, like, going to harvest his trees before getting off the bus or whatever it is. I think it can work. But I don't know who in their right mind on iOS is going to pay a premium price for a game. And I don't really understand how microtransactions could really work on that game either, without being overextending, like, oh, you got to pay 99 cents to harvest double the minerals. Like, who would do that?
Apparently a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, didn't you read, like, some, like, 13-year-old or 8-year-old girl spent, like, $5,000 on Bejeweled or Candy Crush?
Yeah,
like,
I think the parents sued, though. Like, I don't think that went through okay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, dumbasses and casuals will buy shit from, like, oh, I need an extra life. Buy.
Frickin' casuals.
I wouldn't count the 8-year-old girl because she wouldn't have a concept of money. But yes, there are plenty of adults who just like keep paying money
like
for all this crap. It's like, come on.
It's the perfect thing, okay? Enough dumbasses have bought something that they got the Super Bowl ad. Alright, that's all you need to know. Super Bowl ads are like at least 7 figures.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, they work. Like, otherwise they wouldn't buy them.
No, it doesn't matter. You bought something, okay? Why would you buy more for a game? Alright, that's dumb. I bought a game, that's it. It should be that. Alright? And they claim how they have no time, yet they're always playing these shitty mobile games.
Wow, if Mike ruled the world, he would put a Vita in every person's hand and be like...
Hey, Vita's a good system, man. People don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Last piece of news that Matt sent me anyway. Lego Dimensions was announced. We already talked about it. There's going to be tons of starter packs. This looks to be a little more expensive than the other Toys to Life stuff because there are just so many different packs. And the base game itself is $99 instead of like $75 or $70 that the other games are.
What game is this?
Lego Dimensions. It's the new Toys to Life game where you can buy NFC figurines and sets and stuff. And I'm not even going to touch that game because it just looks like a complete waste of money.
Is it like fake Skylanders? Like, I don't get the point right now.
Pretty much. Like
That's a good way to say it.
The appeal is that since Lego has access to so many different licenses, they could release like a Batman amiibo and like pretty much like all the different superheroes and different sets as Lego figurines for the game, or like Indiana Jones or Star Wars. Like they've got so many different properties that pretty much it's endless the possibilities. How many different types of NFC figures they could create.
What's cool that one person brought up is they have a couple of new franchises they added that probably wouldn't be big enough to set aside as their own Lego games like Batman or Indiana Jones. They have like the Wizard of Oz and Back to the Future.
So they have the Hobbit as well. Yeah,
they have that as its own separate
kind of, but like now that you put it in that way, it's like they do have those licensing, so they can do that. So I mean, I think this should be over Skylanders, to be honest. Like, it seems like, but it's too late. They weren't first, so let's see how it goes. Obviously, it's not something that we're interested in, but I think it's actually a really good marketing thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Skylanders just does so freaking well because it was first. Like, nobody knows any of those characters, and it still outsells Disney Infinity, like, incredibly so. I remember something like Disney Infinity released a statement, like, the game had been out for 3 months, and they're like, we have seen massive success. We have sold, like, this much, like we've made $100 million so far, and then Skylanders releases their statement. They're like, we have made $250 million so far, like just completely overshadowing, and it's kind of incredible. I mean, even like, think about these amiibo figurines. What they've sold probably like 7 million by now. Each one's $10 or $13, so they've already made like $100 million. But that's still less than 1 year of Skylanders. So Skylanders is a freaking juggernaut just because it was first. So.
Yeah, it really doesn't deserve to be that good, but yeah, it was first, so.
But I heard the game itself like isn't that bad actually. Like it's a pretty.
Yeah, but I mean, like compared to like Disney and like the Lego one coming out, like those are like name brands. They sound cool, you know what I mean? Like I would rather play with like that, but like, I give Skylanders its props, even though it needed Spyro to save their ass in the beginning.
Yeah,
it's so weird. They have Spyro, but he doesn't look. He like half looks like Spyro, but he's not even like the main character anyway. So it's like, why is he even in there?
Yeah. Remember when we all thought that this was like a crazy idea? I thought that it would never work. I thought it was the silliest thing in the world. Like it came out and I'm like, this is gonna bomb. This looks stupid. Nobody's gonna buy this. But I was just mind blown. Do you guys remember what your reactions were? Like.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid as hell. I was like, man, I was like, yo, these people are crazy, man. Like, but I really thought it was dumb. I was like, who the hell would buy this? Like, that's what I thought. It was like worst DLC in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't remember my thoughts, but I don't particularly like the designs of the characters or the art style. I don't know, something just feels off.
Yeah.
But I guess the appeal is Happy Meal toys the game, because that's what all these really are.
Yeah, that is the perfect way to look at it. They do look like shitty Happy Meal toys.
But not amiibo, okay? Amiibo are special, okay?
They're all technically Happy Meal toys.
Some other stuff here. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 might come to the Wii U. It's like every year there's like something that leaks on the website, and only one Call of Duty game so far hasn't come. So I think it might be safe to assume that it might make it over this year. Let's see, what else is over here? We got Rodea Sky Soldier is going to have a special edition.
That's old news. I said that last week.
Codename Steam.
Yeah, you got to be in the first orders to get the Wii version, which is the only version with multiplayer as well. So,
does multiplayer?
The Wii version.
Weird.
So if you're part of the first orders, you get the Wii version, which has multiplayer.
Yeah, it's cool. Weird. The Wii and Wii U version actually have differences. Mainly in controls, but yeah, there's other stuff too. And I think that's about it. Not much has really happened in the last week. It's been kind of quiet in Nintendo Land. In fact, it's been so quiet that today when I was writing up news, the only thing I could really find that was even remotely minutely newsworthy was the fact that this guy in Brazil, this soccer player, decided to give himself the nickname of Pikachu. And that was pretty much the only news today. And the fact that Mario Kart DLC rumor was false. That's the other thing.
I didn't even hear about that until like it was late. I was like, oh, there's a rumor? Oh, no, it's fake.
What was the rumor?
It was, I don't even remember. It was like
There's about 2 returning tracks, that's all.
Yeah.
Probably good track.
Speaking of Mario Kart 8, since there's not much else to talk about, what other franchise do you think they'll have? Oh, actually, no, it shows here. I was going to say, what other franchise do you think they're going to put in this pack? Because before it was Zelda and
Excite Bike.
I forget, it was something else. Yeah, and some other stuff. But what do you think will be in this one? There's a Super Mario 3D World logo, so there's probably going to be a level based off of that. But do you think there's going to be another track?
Cake level with the double cherry, right?
Do you think there's going to be a level based on another Nintendo franchise?
It would be cool.
We have an F-Zero one.
I can see a Samus or Star Fox one coming up.
Yeah, what I was going to say.
Cool.
How cool would it be if they did like not a 2D track, but like Metroid, but the 2D version of Metroid, and you're like driving around and you just see like in the background Samus fighting people? I don't even know.
I don't know how that would work. But...
Well, the reason I'm saying it, like I wouldn't think it'd work, right? But then we saw Excite Bike, and Excite Bike worked. So
yeah, but that's like an actual racetrack. Metroid's like a side scroller, so that's why I wouldn't really know how that would work well.
2.5D. Um, I don't know.
Star Fox sounds like it could work.
I'm just probably going to be half right again, like with Lego Dimensions. Maybe.
Were you right about Lego Dimensions? I don't know your rumor.
No.
No, Matt's convinced I was completely wrong about Lego Dimensions, and I probably was, but I don't want to concede too easily. I think that pretty much sums up all the news that we had this week. FLIA's gone, so you don't have any questions. So I guess the fair thing would be to look to E3 because that is in 2 months? That's exciting. So why don't we kind of just go through maybe some predictions of some sort. As we know, Zelda was delayed and will not be at E3. So what's the big game? Is Xenoblade and Star Fox just going to be it? Do you guys think something else is going to be announced? Because I still think there's going to be a Metroid.
Yeah, but for what system?
3DS, of course.
Yeah, on crack.
It's going to be...
I don't see a 3DS Metroid game coming up. I just can't see it.
I can.
We already heard
they haven't
from...
done one ever. It's like 12 years since it's been 2D.
We already heard from Next Level Games that they were working on one and then it was canned. So I doubt they... I don't know. I don't really see that.
Ugly ass one with the bad art.
Maybe it wasn't canned. Maybe it was just shipped off to Retro. No. No, but I mean, yeah.
I know they were working on a side scroller and a 3D one, but
yeah, we heard, but like, so Retro. Can we agree that Retro is probably going to show a game? Because I'm convinced that they have that second team, and considering Donkey Kong came out last year in February, they definitely are at the point where they probably have something to announce. And I still think they're working on Metroid, but
yeah, I'd say for Wii U, but I don't know. I'm inclined to say yes, they'll show something, but I also thought they would show something like a while ago.
Well, I mean, yeah, we did have the Direct. I mean, what's more likely, a pre-E3 Direct, or you think they're just going to save everything? Or they're just going to leak out rumors like that. You got to think of it like that, What do they want to see? Do they want to get stuff hidden? Do they want to get people excited? Like, I read a rumor. My brother sent it to me. It was like a WordPress rumor. That the Nintendo Direct was supposed to have a Paper Mario Wii U announcement, which kind of got me fake excited. But I was like, I can't trust this too much. But that, there's always that kind of possibility.
yeah.
Nintendo does do that. They pull out some game franchise that would be like, oh shit, never thought I would have seen that again, or like, oh, this is new. Most likely we're gonna get those 3 Miyamoto titles. 2 of them were the shitty ones. When the hell does Mario Maker come out?
I think September.
Okay, well, obviously, you gotta look at the games. First off, every game that's not coming out by the week of E3 is gonna be shown at E3. Splatoon will not be shown at E3 because it'll be out. There'll probably be a booth about Splatoon and stuff, of course, to promote their new game. But more than likely, there's a little chance that we're gonna see announcements and all this other stuff about it. But I look at it what do they want the people to see, and what's really gonna surprise everybody? Are we gonna see maybe Fire Emblem and SMT FE? That's a possibility of having some gameplay shown.
Yeah, I think I don't know, SMTFE, they just had a large trailer. I don't know if they'll be ready to show it again, especially since it's a 2016 game. I think Fire Emblem...
True, yeah.
I think...
Oh, right, because they said they would only focus on 2015.
Yeah, I don't know, they might do a little bit on Fire Emblem just because that game's coming out in Japan this summer, and I'd probably be in a state where it's an early 2016 game, like February again, like with the last Fire Emblem. I think that'd be reasonable. But I don't think there's going to be much other than that in the side of 2016. What about this? Do you guys think we'll see DNA stuff there?
But I don't care.
Like Nintendo's their first
game. I don't know if they really use E3 to show off smartphone games. I could see it in a Nintendo Direct maybe, but
I don't know. It seems like the perfect time because E3 is when you got the mainstream audience there and the press and everything like that. It seems like the perfect time because they said that their first game would be out before the end of the year. So where they could show it off and be like, hey, this is what we had in mind. It's not a crappy game. We're doing it okay. Or maybe even reveal some of this stuff because they're also supposed to launch a service with
Oh, right.
so I wonder if that's because I think they said that would be out by the end of the year as well. Not 100% certain on that one. So maybe they're going to be showing off some of the features that they've got planned for that as well. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
I could see that in its own
like,
direct as well.
yeah, but mobiles can't like act. Nintendo can't act like mobiles are coming out like, oh, Skyward Sword, we better show it because the game's gonna come out at the end of the year, kind of thing. You know, like mobiles are just like many games released in succession and half spam, one good. No, but honestly, they could show one game. I think maybe if they have an announcement, they'll kind of maybe they'll show off as like a cool game. And it's like, oh, we want that. Then it's gonna be like, for mobile. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't want it as much. But I think I could see one game being shown or two, like just to sample what DNA is really like capable of. But I think it's really more all about Star Fox, Xenoblade X, and
Yeah.
and some hidden games. That's what I really feel like E3 is going to be about. And 3DS, what were we talking about? What do they have besides Fire Emblem again? I forget. I'm sorry.
They've got
I can't see.
they've got like nothing for 3DS. They got Fire Emblem.
Yeah, so maybe they're gonna. Maybe we get that new virtual shop because they got to show off the new Club Nintendo thing because it ends in June, right? Maybe they'll talk about the new website and how it integrates with Wii U, 3DS, and the new system.
Yeah. Okay, so how about this? Do you guys think it'll be a better E3 or worse E3 or about the same as last year? Because if you guys remember last year was pretty awesome. Like, you got a ton of stuff there. You got Splatoon, you got Xenoblade, you got Kirby, you got Mario Maker, you got Mario vs. Donkey Kong, you got, I mean, it's a lot of small games, but there are big ones too. You got Smash Bros, you got, Captain Toad, Hyrule Warriors, like, Bayonetta, so was all at E3 last year. You guys think it's going to be better or worse?
Okay, in terms of big ass titles, it's gonna be technically worse because last year had Ash and that Zelda hype. And now that we know that Zelda ain't gonna be there, it loses that hype. But I think in terms of quality, it might be better. Like Nintendo really did well last year, so I think they can. And last year also had Robot Chicken, so I think last year might be one of the best ever. But at the same time, like I think Nintendo knows what they have to do to really captivate an audience. So I expect them to do good things.
What about you,
I think
Matt?
we know most of the stuff that's going to be there anyway. I think if they have any surprises, it might be like a mid-tier type of game, like Mario Maker or Yoshi or something that's not like super crazy, but it's still like a AAA game from them. That's all I can really see for surprises. They might talk about Pokken Tournament because it's supposed to be closing up in Japan soon, or I think it was supposed to release in Japan in the summer or something like that, so we might actually hear about that coming out like in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna come out like it's coming to arcades like summer, like here, like July summer, or like May summer kind of thing. Like it's
I think it's like July.
Yeah,
okay,
I think it's July.
That's pretty cool. I'm actually excited for that. So maybe they tease it up. Maybe they tease that it's coming out for the Wii U, or they just tease more gameplay to get more people excited for it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like not a lot of people know, even though it's awesome, it's still like a pretty low game. Like a lot of like mainstream people don't know, and to introduce that to get hype for the Pokemon audience for that, it'd be really smart.
Yeah, for me, I think the E3 presentation this year is going to be worse than last year, just because last year was so good. There were just so many games there in the presentation and on the show floor. I think this year is going to be worse, not only because of the quantity, but also because of the quality, as Mike said. Just the fact is, like, their big game is Star Fox, and Star Fox is not something I'm super interested in. So for me, it's going to fall to Xenoblade and, Yoshi's Woolly World, which is really exciting, and maybe Devil's Third.
That's like my most exciting game, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
You guys got the best amiibos I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Yoshi's Woolly World. Excited for Xenoblade, and I don't know what to think of Devil's Third yet.
I forgot about that.
I'm not interested in Mario Maker. The two N64 titles I don't want to play. I just don't know how they could possibly match last year's presentation, especially without Zelda, without Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. Maybe if there's some sort of Fire Emblem demo, that'd be really cool, but I can't imagine any way that they get to the same caliber of a show as they had last year. Unless there's some huge surprise that they've been holding out on us. And once again, even if there is a huge surprise, I'm not a huge Metroid fan. So if that surprise is Metroid, it still probably wouldn't do it for me personally. Yeah. I don't
I
know.
think that's the only really big surprise they would have is whatever Retro has, because I doubt they have any other big studio or any other studios with like big surprises.
Yeah, and it sucks that they've lost the support of level 5 because last year, I mean, you pretty much get a Layton game almost every year from level 5, and this year they don't have Layton. They're not getting Fantasy Life. Yokai Watch isn't until next year. So pretty much they've lost all support of level 5 at least temporarily, which is a shame. And most of the other like niche Japanese games came out earlier this year. You got Story of Season that came out in March. Etrian Mystery Dungeon just came out, which is kind of a niche title. And so I don't really know what they have for the 3DS, especially because the 3DS catalog just looks dead for the second half of the year. It doesn't look like there's a Pokemon on the horizon. I don't know.
I was gonna say Next Level Games might have something because they were saying that they're working on their next Nintendo-related IP, but that was only March of this year, so they're not going to have anything ready.
Well, we're not looking at second and third party. We keep looking at Nintendo first party, and like maybe Sonic's supposed to have like a multiplayer game coming out, like made by Team Sonic, so like the actual people who make Sonic.
Oh, so maybe it'll be good this time.
Yeah. See, it's made by
No, that's not.
It's like the people who made Sonic, like
Let's not push it too far out of the realm of
Yeah.
possibility.
Let's not give
really
Sonic
good,
Team
man.
that much
Then they like, hey, like I like Team Sonic. They made a lot of good games. They made one shitty one, but like there's that. There's a possibility of like some Capcom games being announced. Don't forget, there's also that new Phoenix Wright game when you're playing as his ancestor coming out. So.
Oh, I thought that was an iOS game. No.
I don't know. I thought it was 3DS and kind of thing, because I know like all of them have been on iOS, but they have been 3DS as well. So we'll see. Most likely it'll be iOS because Capcom's been lame lately. And then we don't know what Square Enix is doing. So I mean, I look at like these other second parties like that have like consistent good Nintendo games. So maybe they have 3DS games in the work instead of Wii U games, since Wii U's kind of dead. It looks like Nintendo's going to have to support the Wii U themselves right now.
Yeah. I think one interesting thing we might see is Theater Rhythm Dragon Quest. Or whichever one, which one? I think it is Dragon Quest, the one that just came out in Japan recently.
Yeah, it's Theater Rhythm Dragon Quest, because they're done with the Final Fantasy ones. And I think Final Fantasy had some DLC, like for some not Kingdom Hearts, or like I think the World Ends With You guys. But not too sure. That'd be a really big surprise if the World Ends With You 2 on the 3DS.
Oh my god, I would blow my... If we got World Ends With You 2 on 3DS instead of iOS, and if it actually existed, I think it would be like the best E3 in ages. I freaking love that game.
It would be sick. Like, legitimately, like, remember, Neku was in Kingdom Hearts 3D. And it was funny, that was one of the people I was going to vote for in the Smash thing. I was like, oh, that's a cool surprise character that could come through. But what I was going to say also was maybe they announced, like, what the leading vote getter for, like, the Smash community right now for the download is. And don't forget, Lucas does come out in June, so there'll probably be some Smash announcements there and all that. And, of course, the next, like, probably better details on amiibos and everything.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious if like their top character right now is like someone they really are against bringing into Smash Bros. Like I don't even know.
James Bond.
James, yeah.
GoldenEye James Bond, shitty graphics.
Or it's like what if it's like Banjo-Kazooie and like Microsoft said, oh, you can have him, but Nintendo would probably never go for something like that. Like where they.
Why not? I'd rather have Banjo-Kazooie than like Mega Man Legends or Crash Bandicoot or Spyro or something.
Because it looks bad. Like
Banjo-Kazooie probably. It's the only choice I actually want, like, legitimately.
Because I think it looks bad that Nintendo would have to go and ask Microsoft for something. I don't think they'd, quote-unquote, stoop to that level, although we don't care. But they probably, it's a sort of like a shame thing. I don't know. That's just...
I don't know. I guess you could look at it in that perspective. But at the same time, wouldn't think it was a shame since Kojima begs for Snake to go in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know there's a lot of honor Japanese culture and all that, but it's not like they're begging for this new guy they never had. You know what I mean? Like, but I do look at it like, oh shit, it's like, oh man, we're desperate. We really need people want Banjo-Kazooie. Let's get him. You know?
Yeah.
Rumors are right now Shovel Knight is like America's #1 voter, but like not even close in Japan, since like none of them know Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd really love Vati as a playable character.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
He'd be cool.
Yeah, I think Bomberman would be cooler over Shovel Knight. Like, I think Bomberman, he has like all the customs. Like, yeah, I mean, the colors are easy and awesome. You know.
I don't know. Bomberman could be okay, but he reminds me of Sonic, where most of his moves are just going to be kind of the same thing.
Oh, all related over the same thing?
Yeah, like throw a bomb, kick a bomb, place a bomb right next to you. Like,
hey, don't forget, he's got throw a bomb. Don't forget, he's got a remote bomb.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I don't think he'd be different enough.
All right.
Well, it's like,
Anything would be cool.
Well, at the other time, you could look at it like characters that are like assist trophies already in the game have a possibility, like Waluigi or something, or like maybe
Cranky Kong, and he was walking around hitting people with his cane. Just like whacking people off the stage with his cane. Oh my god.
It could be like an assist trophy like Mr. Rossetti, just like yelling at everyone and whacking them with the stick.
His taunt would be amazing.
Back in my day,
that was
wave dashing.
I wouldn't mind Rayman. I really wouldn't mind Rayman. That'd be cool. I mean, all the hype around Rayman, and with the trophy and all that. So.
Yeah. Rayman
would be cool because he is basically has all the moves made out for Smash.
Yeah, I agree.
It's true. It really is true.
All right. Well, we gotta close it up here. Thanks everyone for listening. Make sure to let us know if FLIA ever gets around to posting his blog. We're coming on
the podcast.
Which character you would like to see. Thanks everyone for listening. Really appreciate it. And why don't we just go around once again, plug all our stuff. I'm Eli. Follow us on IGN and Twitter. Check out my work on Nintendo Enthusiast. We've actually been growing a lot lately. It's fun. And how about you, Mike?
Alright guys, I'm Troy Filibuster on Twitter and Twitch. You guys can find me at Super Nintendo Bros on YouTube. Most likely, I think there's going to be Titan Cells and Ollie Ollie stuff. But, enjoy the crap out of it, or just look out for me on Streaming Smash. Later.
Alright, and Matt?
Mike, stop flicking your joysticks.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, is that your controller? God damn it, Mike.
Yeah, that was it.
You just can't help but play with him. Alright, I'm Matt, also known as the Mango Viking on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Alright. Thanks everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week.